fly nigga. Yeah.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Bedtime Bitchin with Roxxy Haze, the podcast. I'm joined here today by my homie, comedian, and podcast extraordinaire, bars, Kazeem Rahman. Oh, and I'm so sorry, and writer,
Sorry. That's one of
Kazeem
those
Rahman.
little.
I mean, you
Hey,
didn't.
hey, Roxy.
Should have
How
gave me
you
that
doing?
before. Should give me a
My
list
bad.
before.
Listen, I'm not good with telling people how to intro me. You know how it is when you're a
Yeah,
comic.
like I don't know. I just
Like,
be doing shit.
yeah, yeah.
You
Thanks
do
for
a lot of
having
shit.
me. This is my
Thanks
second
for coming
time.
on.
This is my second time. I think this is my second time on this show.
It is.
Or
So you
maybe
actually
third.
came on when I was doing it on Twitch. So I'm actually gonna be
Oh,
doing some more of those episodes because like those weren't. I didn't get to make them like official podcast episodes. That was during the pandemic.
yes.
So I was just trying
Oh,
to,
okay. Yeah. We
keep
were
shit
just doing
going,
stuff. Yeah.
just doing shit.
The
But now
pandemic.
it's an official
Everybody.
podcast.
We were just putting out content, trying not to die. That's
Trying to fucking
basically,
survive,
yeah,
fighting for
just
our fucking
trying
lives every
not
day.
to jump off the roof.
That
That's
shit was
basically how it
yeesh.
was. Yeah, I get it.
So you
I get
already
it.
kind of told us a little about you, but let us know more. So you make a
Yeah,
podcast, all of those things.
I'm the host of the world famous podcast Tough Choice with Kazeem Rahman. I am a writer. I'm a stand-up comedian. Uh, I do all three of those things in tandem.
Mm.
Really. So, if I'm not doing stand up, then I'm writing a script to possibly try to go sell it. If I'm not doing that, then I'm working on my podcast, or I'm recording the podcast, or I'm releasing videos for the podcast. So we have a bunch of good cool things that we have coming up for 2023. Hopefully we can do some live shows. Hopefully we can get some more long form videos of our pod out and about in the atmosphere so we can build our base and start taking over the world.
Let's fucking go. And one
Yeah.
other thing I want to throw in there that I'm excited. Kazeem's one of my actual friends. Like I actually fuck with
Yeah.
Kazeem. I think that's always a
And
good thing.
that is important to say because a lot of
Yeah,
these, like, if comedy's like the rap game, a lot of
yeah.
these people really just don't like each other.
We
They
don't
work
like each other.
together.
We're co-workers, we're acquaintances, but I actually
Yeah.
fuck with Kazeem. He's a dope dude. So please check out anything he's doing. It's very he always does shit at very high quality.
I'm trying. That's the goal for the new year,
Let's
right?
fucking go.
We simplify things, and that is the sound of Los Angeles in the background, by the
Yeah, I
way.
was trying to mute it, but no, y'all need to
Uh,
know what's going
no,
on. Also,
y'all
I
need
hear
to
me
know.
echoing. I think it might be you or me. Do you hear the echo?
I don't hear an echo at all.
Echo. Let me see. I think
No.
it might be me. Also funny. So when I say edit these podcasts, I mean I just cut off the beginning and the end. All of this is gonna be in there. So not
Ah,
fucking doing all of that shit.
you don't edit like I edit then. You
Nah, I
don't like,
used
yeah.
to, but I'm not
Well,
fucking
now
doing
that's the
all that.
thing. What I do usually, I think it's because I'm at like episode 249, right?
Damn.
So I've just been doing it for a very long time. So if I want the podcast to be exactly 25 minutes, I know exactly where to start wrapping things up depending on the person. I know exactly how to start wrapping things up with that person to make the podcast 25 minutes. So it's for me, I editing is not hard anymore. Right? It used to take me 3
Mm-hmm.
days to edit a 30-minute podcast, right?
Damn.
But now I can be done if I put my phone down, I can be done in 45 minutes. But if my phone's right beside me, I can be done in like an hour,
Okay.
right?
See,
And a
yeah.
lot of time, and now I'm just letting because it's a lot of it, and you'll know because, and this is inside baseball for all of your fans here. A lot of it is just depending on the guest, right?
Facts.
If the guest is good, no one can be bad at my podcast or your
Mm-hmm.
podcast, right? It's
Yeah.
just do I have to edit you a lot or do I have to edit you a little bit? If I
Mm-hmm.
only
Is
have
there
to edit
dead
you a
air?
little bit,
Are
yeah,
you talking consistently? Are you
yeah.
yeah.
If I only have to
Facts.
edit you a little bit, then I'll be done in an hour because I'm just listening to the podcast once, once
Mm-hmm.
through. Maybe get a little kind of dead air, get some like popping sounds out, and then we're good to go. But Whew, man. Sometimes,
It's a lot.
sometimes I'm there. Sometimes I'm there for like 2 hours trying to make the podcast good, right?
Yeah.
So
I used to do that and then I was like, fuck that shit. Y'all gonna hear what I hear. Here you go. It's free. I'll work on I'm trying to work on
that's
being
funny.
a better person. I think it's my body. There we go. Yeah. Boom. All right. So we are here today to talk about The Office. We both really like The Office. Um, so that's what the fuck we're gonna talk about. So first, what got you to The Office?
What got me to The Office?
Yeah, like how did you first
Um,
start watching it?
the I was watching. This is when I failed out of college,
Damn.
and I was going to U of H. I failed out of UT. I was still going to college, but I failed out of one of them. That's neither here nor there. But I was at
Mhm.
home and I was watching. I forgot. I think I was watching the Emmys, and there was like a skit between like Ricky Gervais and Steve Carell. I didn't know who either of them were,
Yeah.
right? So then I'm like, what is this for? And then they talked about, oh, Steve Carell's part of The Office, blah blah blah. And this is when back in the day, I don't know if see back in the day, TV was more easily accessible, and no one TV didn't networks didn't know how TV could work on the internet yet.
Mhm.
So what they did was they would just release episodes the day after on their website,
Uh,
right? So The Office would just NBC would just put out The Office on a Friday morning on NBC.com. You can just watch it, right? And without having to pay for it. Of course, you have to pay for like the you have I mean you have to watch the commercials, right? They still had like web commercials, but you can just watch it. First episode of Office I watched was when um Michael Scott fake fired Stanley.
oh, did I
That was
stutter?
like season, yeah, did I said it? That was like season 4. I don't even know what season that was. That was like later, right? And then I went back to start
Season 4,
watching it.
episode 16.
Yeah, season 4. Then I was stop. That was the first episode I ever watched of The Office, which is a really good episode,
It is.
right? So
Mhm.
well, I could make the argument that's one of my favorite. Okay, I changed my mind. That's one of my favorite episodes. Anyway, so something's getting
Made me
knocked
think.
out.
I'm like, I really fucking love that episode now that I'm thinking about
Yeah,
it.
that
Okay.
was a really good
Well,
episode.
I guess then
So
we'll
that's how
start.
I
Wait, no, I
started.
should
Yeah,
say. Okay,
The
I say
Office
how
was
I
the
did.
first. That was the first pilot. I not pilot. That was the first script I ever wrote. Was a script about The Office. It was a
Oh, you
spec
did
script.
a spec script for The Office?
Yeah.
I'm actually working on one now, but I can't tell you what. I'll
That's
tell
right.
you later. But yeah, people be stealing. Excited about it.
That's just yeah.
So I started watching the. I started watching it. I think I had just broke up with somebody, and I was
Hmm.
just like sad. And I was like, okay, I need to watch something. You just want to binge something. And I think I had just binged Sons of Anarchy, which was a really
Mm.
show. I was very surprised how well fucking written that show was. It's amazing. So I was like, I want to watch something a little bit more lighthearted because Sons of Anarchy is very a lot. It wasn't even done yet. At that point, it was still going on. But so many people were dying. So I was like, I want to watch something a little bit lighter. I remember people kept talking about The Office and how funny it was and all of that stuff. So I watched like the pilot and I was like, this is okay. And then I got to Diversity Day and I was like, this is hilarious and this is kind of my type
Yeah.
of humor. And then when I got to that second season, I was like, oh, I'm in. I'm in.
Yeah.
And I would just keep watching it. Like I watched the whole thing and then I would just go back and keep rewatching it and keep rewatching. I think I rewatched it maybe like 8, 10 times at this point till they took it off of Netflix, which is weak as fuck. Peacock. Like I get it that you own that, but like, come on, man. I'm not buying Peacock just for The Office. So I haven't seen The Office in a little
Yeah.
while. I'm gonna need
It's
somebody's Peacock at this
it's
point
not on
because
Hulu.
it is, but you got to have a premium subscription
Oh,
because
you
it's like
can't just have a regular subscription.
nah,
You can't just have a regular subscription to
nope.
Hulu. Oh
No,
no.
because it's owned by Peacock. Is
Oh, it has to
the
include
the
live
network is owned
TV.
by, yeah, Peacock is,
Oh,
Peacock is
those
which
options
channel?
start off at
NBC.
Peacock is NBC.
$60.
Yeah. Dang.
I'm gonna buy. I'll just buy cable. So yeah, once they started doing that, haven't been able to watch. I just saw it's
You can watch the
free
you can
on Freeform.
Freeform. Freeform is on Freeform
Freeform
is
is
owned by.
ABC Family.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah,
that's on Hulu.
but it's
So if I
free
go
on.
to
Why is it free on? Oh, they don't even have
in
all the
in
episodes. It's like
yeah.
two or three random. Let me see, because now I'm really invested in
Oh.
this. They have a lot of episodes locked. You can't really watch. You
Oh.
can watch right now. I can watch a Benihana Christmas Part 1 and Part 2, and that's it. Everything else is locked. Okay, I see what they're doing. Boo! But anyway, still a great show. It's helped me through some very sad times. It's episodes that I would just watch when I just like needed to feel better. So
Yeah.
yeah, thanks The Office. What do you particularly like about The Office? Like, what is the thing that makes it like your show?
I think it was more of it it seemed like comfort food, right?
Mm-hmm.
To a sense of I can always watch something, I can always enjoy something, right? If you need something to watch, if The Office is on, okay, cool, I can watch this, right? And two, it was there were so many characters that you had to the dynamic was such
Mm-hmm.
a crazy thing to watch, and it's just enjoyable, where there's something in every single character that you're like, I know somebody like that, either that's me or I know
Mm-hmm.
somebody just like that.
Yes, I
and
agree.
and that's and that's rare. That's kind of rare to see that in a show where it's like, yo, I've seen like maybe one episode of Friends. I don't know anybody that's like those white people, and I don't relate to
Oh,
anybody
sorry.
that's like those people. You know what I mean? But for
Mm-hmm.
The Office, there was only like one black guy in that whole cast,
Yeah.
and I still related to. I either saw myself in all of those, in at least a good amount of those characters, or I saw something that I knew about someone else in some of those characters, where it's like, and everyone was just likable in their own weird way,
Mm-hmm. I
which
agree.
was, yeah, which was good.
I think that's just kind of the same thing. Like you can pick up the show at any episode and you really
Yes.
get a feel for who they are as people, like how they act, how their dynamics are. I think one of the coolest things for me is because you know these characters so well, like they could be talking to anybody or interacting with anybody and it would still be like interesting. Now that we know what we like about The Office, usually I go least favorite. But I was like, you know what, this bedtime bitching, I feel like we should end on a terrible note. So we're gonna start with our three favorite episodes. And let me make a disclaimer because I do have a nerdy fan base. We are not saying these are the best episodes, okay?
I'm
We are
saying these are the
saying
best episodes.
to you. We
No, I'm saying these are the best episodes.
because he likes them and he's a dick. So we these are our particular favorite episodes. Some people are like, well, technically this is no, shut the fuck up. It's whatever the fuck I think is the best. Whatever's my favorite, that's what it is. This is not necessarily a debate show. I always
Uh,
gotta say that because people are so fucking weird. Like what you wanna like. I'm telling you
let
what
it
I
be.
like.
Let it, yo. Add Kazeem comedy. These are the three best episodes of The Office.
This guy. All right, you know what? I'm gonna let you go first. What is
First episode, Diversity Day, season 1, episode 2. That set out. I don't even care that that was just a remake of the UK version of Diversity Day. Who cares? It was still one of the best episodes because it stood out. It really set The Office apart from everybody else,
Mm,
right? So, and a lot of times people are like, "Oh, Office is the first people to like, you know, have like the talking heads." Not necessarily, right?
yeah.
The Bernie Mac show did that
Hmm.
before
America?
anybody else.
Yep.
Yeah, right. That was the first show to have talking heads, and then weirdly enough, Larry Wilmore, who co-created the Bernie Mac show, was in Diversity Day.
Oh, yeah, he was the dude.
He was the dude. He was the dude to give the diversity training. Right.
Yeah.
So such a good
That's
episode.
what you supposed to do. Yeah, I think
Yes.
especially after that lackluster pilot, I think Diversity Day really was the episode that was like, okay, this is what this show's about. This is really funny. These are who these characters are. I agree.
Yeah.
I have no notes on that.
Okay. The second favorite
Oh
episode.
wait, no, it's my turn.
Oh, go. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Dang, you gonna skip me?
My bad.
So that he's so eager. We're gonna go The Banker. That's season 6, episode 14. I fucking hate that episode. It's a clip show episode. I always hate clip show
Oh, that's what
episodes.
you hate.
Oh,
Oh,
we're doing favorites. My
we're doing
bad.
favorites.
Hey,
Yes.
thank. Hey, y'all, ignore that. Ignore that. And also, I'm not editing this out.
But
Uh,
the banker is a shit. But the banker is a
Yo,
shitty
fuck the
episode.
bank.
But
It's
go
so
ahead.
fucking shitty. We'll get to that in a second.
What
My favorite
every episode that is a clip that just shows like
clips in
flashbacks.
any show, I fucking hate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's filler. It's a filler episode. I hate it in anime. Don't give me filler. Like I can deviate from the plot. You can deviate a little bit from where the show is going, but don't just give me some bullshit and show me what the fuck already happened. I know what the fuck
Yeah.
already happened. I watched it. And I will do this rant again when we get to our least favorite. I am so sorry. My favorite episode, one of my favorites, is The Duel. It's the 12th episode of season 5. And I love that episode because to that point, Angela's kind of been a piece of shit. Like she's been
Mm,
getting away with being a really shitty person. And that was the
mm,
episode where I felt like she got her comeuppance. Also, it was
mm.
just funny watching Dwight get hit with a Prius is
Yeah.
hilarious. Like just the
Yeah.
quotes in that episode, like if he keeps it under, it's a silent, he deserves the win. Like it's fucking funny. It was like one of those like it got real serious at the end, like watching him have to call and like his marriage is over. Like it's over and he's calling to cancel all the wedding plans and Dwight throws that thing in the trash and we see Angela like finally feel bad because up until that to that point she never felt bad. She acted like what she was doing was okay. She never felt
Yeah.
bad. I feel like it's just a really, really, really good, and I'm glad that they finally ended the love triangle, like,
Yeah.
because that shit gets old too. Like, I don't want to see a love
Yeah.
triangle for 30 seasons. Like, let's be done with
Yeah.
this.
That's true.
So,
That's
one of my
true.
favorites.
All
I like
right.
the.
Another favorite.
Mm-hmm.
When I don't know the name of the episode. It's the one where Jim and Pam got married.
Niagara.
Yes, Niagara. I
I was just looking at that one.
because it's
Episode season 6, episodes 4 and 5.
season 6 episodes 4 and 5. It's a joint episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know people are like, well, you can only pick one. I pick both of them as one, and that's perfectly fine, right? Because it's like the Office then this is why the Office usually separates themselves from stuff like this. Usually, a marriage episode is at the end of a season, right? So
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, but they were like, yo, we're just gonna get married in episode 5. Like legit 4 and 5 we're gonna get married. We have
The beginning
22
of the
we have 20
season.
more. Yeah, exactly. We have literally 15 more episodes for the rest of the season. But episode 4 and 5 y'all gonna get married. So that was really good because everything about it was hilarious, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just Michael Scott hooking up with Pam's mom, the like the flash dance, the flash mob thing,
Yep.
them secretly actually getting married in at Niagara Falls, right? So everything was, and it had a lot of heart to it too, which was good. Which is good when you're trying to add when it's a wedding episode. So
Mm-hmm.
that's yeah, that's number that's my second favorite.
Kevin with the tissue shoes. And I like
Oh
seeing them
yeah.
out of the office sometimes. Like it's not a whole
Yeah.
lot of episodes we get like that, but because some of them are shitty, which we'll get to that later. But
Yes.
That one was really, really good. Yeah, I forgot Andy get messed up his dick and stuff. Yeah, it was a solid. Every part of that episode is funny.
Yeah.
I agree. I was gonna put that one on my list, but then I was like, nah, fuck that marriage. Also because I started hating Pam later, but we'll also get to that.
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't like Pam. I didn't like Pam near the end. I didn't like how they developed her because they didn't because she went from this shy girl to this quote unquote,
like
you know,
Karen almost.
yeah, to an extent.
Very
Yeah.
obnoxious. Fucking hate it. So my next favorite is, and I also did a 2-part episode, which is funny. Stress relief.
Stress relief.
Yeah, that is
That
fifth
was a
season
two-parter?
5. Yes, it's 14 and 15. Because remember in the first one he had the heart attack. The second part, he has the roast.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. That was the Super Bowl episode.
Was it? It played on the
Yep.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where it was that was the that it didn't play after it played after the Super Bowl where
yeah.
Stanley, Obama's president Stanley. You're black Stanley.
You're
Yeah.
black, Stanley. It's such a funny episode.
Yeah.
Somebody had posted a clip from there, and they're like, if you've never seen The Office, this is a great way to figure out how all the characters are. And it's when
Yeah.
they're doing CPR to the doll, and like Kelly gets up dancing, and Phyllis and all them are just kind of looking.
Yeah.
The white like rips the face off, and it's just like
Yeah.
so much calamity happening. I always like when they bring like outside people into the office because really get to see like, oh, these people are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Um, but it was also like I was sad because at first I thought he like was really about to die. Like Stanley's one of my favorite characters,
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it really fucked me up. But Dwight, the cold open with him starting a fucking fire is just
That was
hilarious.
that was the greatest cold open in you can make the argument that was the greatest cold open in all 9 seasons
And
of
all
The
night,
Office.
legit,
Yeah.
with throwing the fucking printer and the
Yeah.
cat, save Bandit. And then I fucking fight. I'm looking at it. I forgot that Pam and Jim are watching this movie with Andy because Pam's parents are getting divorced or whatever. And they're watching
Yeah.
this movie with Andy that has Jack Black and Jessica Alba and Cloris Leachman.
Oh, I didn't even
So,
know that.
yeah, it's the whole, that movie. They're like, but it's like y'all really filmed a movie for them to fictionally watch during this episode. Him just getting fucking roasted is hilarious. And Toby wrote that one. I know his name's Paul, but whatever. Like
Yeah.
Toby is a fire ass writer. Like he writes
Yes,
some of the
yes.
funniest episodes.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of the people, a lot of the writers on The Office were actually actors too.
Mm-hmm.
Toby was a producer. Weirdly enough, Angela's married to Toby.
What? Now
Yeah, I
that
didn't
I
know.
did not know.
I thought you knew that. Yeah,
No.
the
What?
Angela, whatever I don't know her real name, but the girl who played Angela
Oh
auditioned.
no, his brother's married to her.
Oh, his brother's married to Toby. My bad.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
but
still, that's still crazy.
she auditioned to play Pam,
Mm.
and then she didn't get the part, so they gave her Angela.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. I
Yeah,
am. Oh, his sister. His sister's married to Greg Daniels, so y'all just be marrying all in the family. Greg Daniels
yeah,
is one of the producers.
yeah.
But yeah, fucking hilarious episode. One of my
Very
favorites.
good.
If I suggest any episode to watch, watch that episode. All
Yeah.
right, it is your turn for your last one.
Finale. The finale episode of The Office was very good.
It's so sad.
It is sad. That's why it's one of my favorites. Where it's like if you're gonna turn off The Office and shut it all down, that's the way to do it.
Yeah,
Every little thing was tied up. There were no loose ends left, right? Michael came
facts.
back, right? Dwight and Angela finally got married. You know what I mean?
About fucking time.
There's this one line where Kevin is crying and Kevin looks at Oscar and he's like, "Oscar, I think I'm gay." And that was the funniest thing I've ever. He's like, "I think I'm gay." He's like, "Why do you think I'm gay?" It's just because I just get so emotional. It's so funny. Yeah,
It's a,
finale. That was my favorite. I wouldn't say that's my favorite episode of all time, but I mean, That's up there. I say that's top five. The finale episode of The Office was one of the best finales in comedy
Agree.
because of how they ended the show.
And it's crazy because
Right?
I love that episode, but I can't watch it because I get sad. So whenever I rewatch the whole thing, I always skip the last two episodes and then just rewatch it again to pretend that
Oh,
it's on an endless loop of never ending.
yeah,
I need to go to
yeah,
therapy.
yeah. Well, no, that's the thing. There's a meme there's a meme I saw one time, and they were like, the problem with people that love The Office so much is that they ask, "Do you watch The Office?" as if it's still going, right? The question should be, have you watched The Office?
It's like, nah.
Not, do you watch The Office, as if like it's a never-ending show. No, the show's been over, but do you watch it though? Because we still watch it.
Yeah, it's like we're watching it. Now I'm gonna have to find Peacock so I can actually watch it again.
I mean, I mean, I'm pretty sure there are bootleg sites where I can
We're
find.
gonna bootleg it and bootleg in the
Yeah.
office. We can't be incriminated. Okay, so now,
No, The
oh,
Office. Oh, right now. The Office, November 23rd, 2022. Fans of The Office will be happy to learn Peacock is free and offers all 9 seasons of the NBC sitcom at
what?
no cost.
It's commercials, huh?
Of course, there's going to be commercials, but I want to watch The Office.
Yeah, I'll watch it if it's free.
Boom.
See how much I hate commercials though. Now I'm like, I'll just pay.
Yeah,
All that
exactly.
complaining. I'm just gonna pay. Don't sell me stuff. So yeah, arguably the best episode is Dinner Party season 4, episode 13. That is where Michael is dating Jan and they're a horrible fucking couple. And they invite
Yes.
Jim and Pam over for dinner and Andy and Angela. And then Dwight ends up popping up with his fucking babysitter. Every part of that episode is funny. That TV, him pushing that little TV in the wall, her stanky ass candles, like it really just showed what a terrible couple they are. Do I just
Yes.
like people breaking up? Because that's my second episode where I'm like, look how they broke up. This in the duel. Um, but yeah, I just like calamity, and I like a crazy range of emotions.
Yeah.
So I think
It's
that's one of
it's
those episodes
it's
that highlights
I
that.
agree. I agree with that. Where every part of that episode was such a hilarious mindfuck.
Like, why are
Where
you?
you're thinking to yourself, why is this happening? Right? Dwight sitting in the like, even like the small details of Dwight sitting at the edge of the table,
Yeah, why was he
right? And
eating those fucking beats
yeah,
that he brought?
yeah,
Why'd you bring your own beats? Yeah, you used to like
yeah,
my beats. I'd rather
yeah,
choke. The flowers. What am I supposed to do with this? Pam not eating. Like, why was she refusing to feed them at this dinner party? It was just I sleep at the edge of the bed. Now I'm just playing the whole episode in my head, but it's really funny. I wonder who wrote that one. Was it Paul
I don't
Livingston?
know. I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
look it
so.
up. No, it was written by Lee Eisenberg and Gene. I cannot say your last name. Not gonna try. But yeah, I think that's the funniest episode. That's also one of the ones that people are like, "Oh, what should I watch?" Watch that one because it's just
Stupinski.
fucking fun. Stupinski,
Yeah. Gene
James
Stupinski.
Stupinski, hilarious.
Directed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kudos to y'all. So yeah, we are done with our favorite episodes. We ran down our list. Now it's time to some shit, which is one of our favorite things to just do. This is America's pastime, talking shit. Our
Yep.
three least favorite episodes. So these are episodes, once again, that arguably they're not bad episodes. Because like you said, I don't think The Office doesn't. Well, no, that's lying. Season 8 and 9 had some stankers, but they're not bad episodes. These are just episodes like I don't like to watch. Like if these pop
Yeah.
up, I will skip these episodes. And I already kind of started talking shit. This one, The Banker,
Yeah.
episode 14 of season 6. I fucking hate clip shows. I was rewatching Seinfeld and there was a clip show. I fucking skipped it. I've seen this. I don't want to watch it again. It never adds to the story. It's usually them just like talking to somebody about like, oh, remember that time we had a sandwich? And then just shows all the sandwiches. Like, this doesn't add anything to the plot. It doesn't teach me anything new about the characters. I don't feel anything. I don't want to. If I want to watch the fucking clips, I'll just go back and rewatch the episodes that I want to see. I feel like it's a waste of time. It's fucking lazy, and I hate it. And especially in this situation, like they were talking to an investment banker. Like, okay, like that's not even cool. It was right before Sabre bought them out, which the next episode is great. But this was just like I feel like a waste of fucking time. That's it.
Yeah. Same. That's my yeah. That episode I is on my list.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't
Why do
like
you
it.
hate it?
I don't like clip episodes, right?
Mm.
Because it just seems I get it from a film because sometimes if you think from a TV perspective, I'm just talking from like a future TV writer perspective,
Mm-hmm.
right? There are some episodes that are for story to progress the whole story of the show
Mm-hmm.
and then of the season of the seasonal arc, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
there are some episodes that are just filler that they could have been anywhere in the season. It doesn't really matter. They're just there because when you
Mm-hmm.
have 24, there's only so many episodes, right? And they all, especially for a show like The Office, they want to make the season has to have a beginning, middle, and end,
Mm-hmm.
right? For a show like Seinfeld, it's just season. It's just episodes, right?
Yeah, it could
Here's
go
an episode
anywhere.
about this, here's an episode about that. But if you think about Friends, there's beginning, middle, and end of every season of like doing things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I get it, right? Every show that's been around forever eventually has a clip episode just to highlight the basically the writer's favorite parts,
Mm-hmm.
right? So yeah, but for me as a consumer, I don't care for it.
Yeah, it's
So
not. It's a waste of fucking time.
it is a way.
I'm glad that you don't like that episode too. It makes me feel better. Um, the next one that I don't hate this one, but it's like, it's like it's real mid. Gettysburg, which is the eighth episode of the eighth season, where they go to fucking Gettysburg, and this was just I like most people. Andy as manager was stupid.
That
Um,
all of my least favorite parts are when episodes are when Andy's manager.
Andy was because he wasn't a great manager. They really made his character really stupid. Like I feel like in the earlier seasons, he had a little bit more depth. But
Yeah,
he was a side character that should have stayed a side character. He was wacky, he was zany, he was obnoxious, which is cute for 2 minutes an episode. But for him to be in charge, and then they started trying to make him more like Michael. Then they started making him an asshole. And Gettysburg was just they went to Gettysburg and they didn't go. Like that was pretty
yeah.
much the whole episode was them going. They didn't want to go, and the B story was Robert California trying to come up with an idea, and he like that was even more. That was more
One
interesting than the main story. Thinking Kevin
exactly,
was smart.
and that's and all of my least favorite episodes in general of The Office are when they try to make Andy and Aaron
Mm-hmm.
like when Andy is the A story, and it's
Yeah.
like I don't like it. Well, here's what happened though. If like a little background information for everybody else, they made Andy a main character because they're thinking, okay, well Ed Helms just did The Hangover, right? And that was a
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
really big movie. So they're thinking, okay, well, off this of The Hangover, then okay, let's make him a main guy. I don't agree with, but the character wasn't developed. The character was always written as a side character, right? So I guess I didn't like that. Which one? Which one was that one that you say you didn't like? Gettysburg. I didn't like it. There was an
The
episode called "Get
the
That Girl."
the Gettysburg. Yeah.
Yeah, where and the "Get That Girl" is
Oh,
the
that
one
was
where I
that.
don't
That
like.
was on.
Where is it? I can
That's so
find
that's
it.
your number two. The
That's
one
my
we
number two least
Yeah,
favorite.
Get That Girl, season 8, episode 9. Yeah, that's when Andy goes to get Aaron, and then Nellie's there. I hate Nellie. Like
Nelly was the
she was
worst.
such a
Nelly was
bad
the worst.
character too,
Yeah.
cause She wasn't funny. She wasn't interesting. And then they tried to make us feel bad, like they're a sympathetic character, so we would hate Andy. So then when Dwight came, we would just be so happy. But the thing is, like, y'all didn't have to do that. We already wanted Dwight as the manager just because he had wanted to be the manager for so long. So
Yeah.
switching over to him wasn't crazy. Like there didn't need to be this build up to make Andy a piece of shit. He kept leaving. Like remember he went on that boat and then he came back and he did all this. It was just a lot of him leaving. So I agree. Get that girl. Tell me why you hate it, and then I'm gonna add my 2 cents because I'm gonna start
Any
getting mad
any
again. But why do you
literally
hate it?
anytime you make Andy the A story, I didn't like. I didn't it the Andy wasn't a good I didn't like the character. Really. I didn't like that relationship was very weird, right? It just like two dumb people getting together. And it's like, okay, well, he's dumb, she's dumb, right? I'm not. It's just so it was just very stupid and annoying to watch. And Nelly was just a dumb. I hate. It wasn't like the Nelly was a dumb character. It's just Nelly was just exceptionally annoying,
For
right? Where
absolutely no reason.
yeah, for no reason. We really didn't need her in the whole series, honestly.
Facts. I
Yeah.
agree. For all those reasons and more, that shit fucking sucked. And I wish they never would have made Andy manager. Seasons 8 and 9 are the worst seasons. I'll skip around because there's some funny stuff in there, but like, yeah, they're really bad. Um, so I'm gonna do my least favorite, and this one is not a bad episode. I just can't watch it, and I think a lot of people have the same thing. It's Scott's Tots season 6, episode 12. I cannot watch
Hold
this
on.
white
No,
man.
you may
No, no,
not.
no, no. I'm gonna
N-
do it. I cannot watch a
What?
white man go into an urban city and fuck those kids' life up. I can't. I don't. The thing is, it's not a bad episode. I cannot watch it. I skip that episode every single time. It's hilarious. The hey, Mr. Scott, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Make our dreams come true. It's really funny, but just being a broke black person is just so hard for me to watch. Cause like Michael would be fucking up the office. Fuck up the office all you want, but to watch him go fuck up these kids' life is just
Yeah.
too much. It's too much. And I was reading about that. Like that is the episode that's considered like one of the cringiest episodes, and a lot of
Mm.
people cannot watch that episode because it is so cringy.
Okay.
Oh, BJ
That's true.
Novak wrote that.
Probably. That sounds about
Oh,
right.
he's a wonderful writer. He's fucking crazy. But yeah, it really like it makes my stomach hurt. It makes my stomach hurt a
Yeah. Okay. I get that. I get
lot.
that. It's understandable. Season 6, episode 12. Scott's Tots. I get it. I get it. I
Hey,
understand
Mr.
that. I
Scott.
liked it. I liked it because it was more of a it just showed how the contradiction of Michael of like he really just wants to be loved, and if he can and whatever he can say to make you absolutely love him, he will do it and he will say. And that's why I it's not one of my
Mm-hmm.
top favorites, but I didn't hate the episode. Right?
Mm.
So
That
yeah,
makes sense.
but I get what you're
I have
saying.
to read this from bit, and this is pretty much what I just said. That's exactly what Michael would do. That's exactly what Michael would feel. I also think we could edit. It makes a lot of sense to me. I don't know if people are responding to. It seems like no one's responding to it saying it's a bad episode or Michael wouldn't do that. It's just more like it's so hard to watch. And that's kind of what it is. It's really hard. It's just hard to watch. Yeah, it's a hard to watch episode. Still great, and I'm gonna do a honorable mention real quick. Uh, I fucking hate he goes and I hate Robert California and Andy's interactions too. Anything that was the main
Yeah.
focus was like Andy and Robert California and him trying to kiss his ass, all of that shit. I hated all of those arcs. They were just terrible.
Yeah.
once again, season 8
Robert California, I
and
didn't.
9
Robert
were
California, I didn't hate.
boo boo
I liked.
bullshit.
I liked Robert California as a character, but I didn't like all of his interactions with people.
Hmm.
Right. So that was good.
Yes, that
I get what you're
that's
saying.
that's kind of where I'm at with it.
All right. So the
Hmm.
worst
All right, and it is
ever
time for
episode,
your last one.
and
I'm
this is the
excited.
worst episode in the history of The Office, and here's why. Season 9, episode
Oh
17,
wow.
The Farm. It was a backdoor pilot of Dwight and his like family farm, right? So a lot of times what they'll
Hmm.
do, a lot of times what TV will what they'll
Hmm.
do is that they'll write a pilot episode, but they don't want to they'll just write it and they'll put it in the as like a spin-off, right? So but they'll put it in the actual season. So they'll just see, did people like this pilot, right? Because it's already sold. The episode's already sold. The same amount of budget they would use for one episode they use for the pilot for that pilot, right? And it's called a backdoor pilot. So no character, the only character of The Office that's in this episode is Dwight, and everybody
Hmm.
else is just part of his family or part of doing this. There's a whole new cousin, right? Because they
Yep.
had to
I'm like, who the
recap. They
fuck are
had
these
to
people?
exactly. There's a like his cousin is originally played by Scott, whatever his name is, Scott Schner, right? Who
Hmm.
created Parks and Recreation, but they had to recast the cousin because the cousin wouldn't be played by Scott. They wouldn't be played by that by the producer and creator of a whole other show
Yeah.
in the actual show if the show gets picked up. So
Hmm.
that that episode I didn't like. I didn't think it was good. They tried to humanize Dwight a little too much, right?
Yep.
Because everything else was they tried to make Dwight the regular person and everyone else around him crazy, and it didn't
It
work
was
for
too
me.
much. It
Yeah.
was too much.
And it didn't work
I
for the network, and that's why the show didn't get picked up.
Yeah, and it's funny because I don't hate that episode, but same thing. It's not good. The only person that they did have kind of in there, he was only in there for a little bit. You remember they had the cold open with the dirt, and then
Yeah.
Oscar was at the funeral, but I hated it because they clearly just had Oscar in there like he was us. So like Dwight's
Hmm.
just explaining what's going on to Oscar for us as the audience,
Yeah.
and I was just like, we don't care though. We don't care. Like we love Dwight. I don't want to. I think the funny thing about Dwight is like we don't fully know what's going on in his world. I think that's what makes him interesting is that like it's kind of a mystery. Like what the fuck's happening? So for you to open this and not his brother and the sister and the
Yeah.
nephew and all that, I don't want to see that. I want him to come into work, do his wacky weird shit. We might
Yeah.
pop up at his farm a little bit. Some weird shit happens, but I don't want the mystery explained. It's like if the magician tells you how they do the trick, then the trick's not interesting anymore. And so I fully agree that that episode is shitty for that reason.
The
Um,
worst episode in the history of The Office.
it doesn't flow
Anyone,
like the jokes aren't the same. Yeah, man,
yeah,
that
anyone is
shit's
free to fight
ass.
me on that.
Yeah, fight me in real life. And it was written by Paul Lieberstein. You did Lieberstein. You did. Um, that is our last thing. But before we go, we talked about it on Twitch, but we didn't get to talk about it. Who is your favorite character on? Talk about it. Who is your favorite character on?
Honestly, I would say Dwight or Creed. Dwight or Creed. Uh,
He's hilarious.
or Kevin. Kevin, I liked. Kevin, I liked. Do your funny thing and you walk out of the scene. I like
That's
those.
that's what you like in real life too. You
Yeah.
like come here, okay, goodbye. Let's not. We're done with this interaction, and now I really
Yes.
like you.
Yeah.
I think my favorite characters are if I'm gonna pick two because you picked two, you kind of cheated. I'm gonna pick two. It is I really like Stanley,
Okay. Yes.
and I really like Phyllis actually, which is fun. Talk their
Actually,
shit.
you know what I realized? One of my favorite episodes was when
Oh,
Stanley
that's me in real
had
life.
Stan. One of my favorite episodes is when Stanley had was having an affair, and the office found out.
Oh my god, I love
That was a good episode.
that.
That was a very
I
good
love that
episode.
episode. I love yo, because what episode was that? You're gonna make me look it up. Because how did they found it was the gossip episode and they found out because Michael was mad that he didn't like get to hang out or he wasn't like involved with gossip. And then he found out some gossip and all that stuff. So he tried
Gossip,
to
yeah.
cover it up so
Season
that's when
six,
Pam was
season
pregnant.
six, season six, episode one.
Oh, that was a premiere.
Yeah,
Hilarious. Paul Lieberstein, yo, he with the hits. Funniest episode. Yeah, we should have put that. We're gonna do that because Stanley's just a funny character, and he doesn't have a whole lot of episodes that are centered around him. But when he does, they're always really good. That one, did I stutter? Like
yeah.
he's Stanley's fucking hilarious, and I think it might, we might be a little biased because he does remind me of like some black uncles I know. Like leave him the fuck
Yeah.
alone. He come to go to work and then he leaves
I'm here to do my job, have my affair, and go home.
and go home, and you weren't even supposed to know about the fair. You're
Yeah,
being fucking nosy.
yeah.
You were being fucking nosy. A fucking great episode. All right, so that is it for Bedtime Bitching with Roxxy Haze, the podcast. I want to thank you, my guest, Kazeem Rahman. Kazeem, one more time, where can the people follow you?
You can follow me at Kazeem Comedy. That's Kazeem. I have a podcast called Tough Choice with Kazeem Rahman. It is available on all streaming platforms: Apple, Spotify, iHeartMedia, Stitcher, things like that. Google, of course. And yeah, and I'll be out and about. I'll be doing some tours. Going on the road with some people. I'll be in San Diego a bunch. So feel free to follow me and come catch me out and about doing this comedy thing.
Let's go. And once again, I am Roxy Hayes. It's RXXYHAZE. Catch me on all of your social media platforms. I stream. I'm also part of Gaming While Black, and check out my show, Mostly Positive, where I play really really weird, unknown games. Check that out. Also, I have a lot of music that's dropping this year, so check that out on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to music, except for Title, because So, yep. And then I have this podcast and two other podcasts that are dropping monthly as well. Anti Meridian, which is a podcast where I teach you stuff or kind of help you with creativity stuff. And then Tell Me a Story, Roxy, where I tell you stories about my life. One of the episodes is about how I almost got in a fight at prom, and one is about how I dated a guy that thought he was a wolf. So if you like stuff like that, check out my podcast. Have a good evening, and we're gonna end this singing the Office theme song. Take it away, Kazeem.
Wait, what? No.
Take it away, Kazeem.
Da-na-na, da-na-na. Wait, we're gonna pay for this. I don't think we can pay. I don't think we can
We
afford.
got 15 seconds, right?
Okay, da-na-na, na. No, 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 no. It's da-na-na, da-na-na, da-da, da-na-na-na, na-na-na-na, na-na-na-na. All right, that's it. That's it. We can't
We
afford any
should have
more
sang
else.
People, Paper People.
What's paper people?
Dunder Mifflin, People, Paper, Persons, Paper. The one that Craig Robinson.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Dunder Mifflin. Okay, yeah, we're not paying for that. All right, bye,
That's how
y'all.
you
Have a
don't.
good
That's
night.
when you really don't remember. Like Craig Robinson was on Def Jam, still playing that piano.
Yo, he be killing
He was killing it. Very good. He was skinnier.
yeah.
Shout out to Craig Robinson
I still hit. All right, y'all. Have a
and
good
his
night.
band. Thanks
His
for having me.
band. You're welcome. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Fade that out. I'm gonna leave in fade that out too. All right. Thank y'all Patreon for watching. Boom. I could cut the camera on because if it breaks up, y'all won't be as mad. Thank
Boom.
y'all so much to Kazeem. Make sure y'all follow him. Fucking hilarious. Thanks for chilling with all the glitches and shit like that.
No
Anything you want to
problem.
say to the Patreon people?
Follow me online, Kazeem Comedy, Kazeem. Follow my podcast. Like, share, subscribe. It really is nothing to subscribe to a podcast and put your downloads on auto.
Facts.
And that's it. That's the easiest way to support a comedian with a podcast. Just subscribe to the podcast, put the downloads on auto, and then let the rest do its work. You don't even have to listen to it low key. You just need an auto download, because then it it helps, right? But definitely still listen to my
it does help.
podcast. It is a very good podcast.
It is a good podcast. I've been on there a couple times and I always have fun. So once again, thank y'all. Thank you to Kazeem. Thank you guys for supporting. As you can see, I'm trying to drop way more content. I'm gonna end it. I'll call you later.
Hard nigga, bad nigga, I'm fly nigga. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hard nigga, bad nigga, I'm fly. Please don't be alarmed, it's just me high up over here. Chilling with my niggas, blowing smoke up in the air. Do not give a fuck about what you wear, leave your panties